first and foremost, good morning, everyone, and let me thank you to the Qatar Football Association and Qatar Super League for the invitation, and especially to Miguel, that has been doing a great work to develop football, and especially the analysis over the last years in Qatar. So it's a pleasure to be here with you, and hopefully can share some of my experience and some ideas, and for us to have a good conversation around one hour, and to have some questions also at the end. In terms of the agenda for today, we'll go through these points. We'll try to go through all of this with pace. Hopefully we'll go well also with the translation. So we try to keep a good dynamic on the session.
طبعا المحتوى راح تشوفون مقدمة في تحليل الفني، لماذا نحلل الأساسيات، أيضا أنه كيف ندمج التحليل، الأبعاد الخمسة للتحليل، وأيضا الماضي والحاضر والمستقبل.
Okay, just to start with, and for the ones that don't know me, just a quick introduction. I've started working at Sporting in Lisbon in 2003 in the academy, then progressed as a coach, and then progressed to the first team to work also with the performance analysis. And when in 2010 moved to England. At the time, Manchester City, the logo was still this one. It was the start of a new project that led to what City is today.
طبعا انا مقدم عن نفسه، اشتغل بالسبورتنج لشبونه بالبرتغال، وبعدين راح من فئات سنيه ايضا وصل الفريق الاول، وبعدين راح الى انجلترا الى مانشستر سيتي، مثل ما تشوفون هذا الشعار القديم لمانشستر سيتي اللي كان يعمل بوقته.
Yeah. In there worked with Roberto Mancini, Pellegrini, with the first team, and in 2014 the club decided to create the City Football Group. As you know, is a constellation of clubs around the world, and I moved to oversee the football methodology and the performance analysis across the different clubs, having the opportunity to work across the world on these different clubs.
هو عمل مع مانشيني، عمل مع بلغريني، وبعدين 2014 النادي قرر يسوي شيء اسمه سيتي فوتبول على يعني انحاء مختلف انحاء العالم لتوصيل طريقه معينه للعمل.
There were 8 years in England, 8 years in the reign. So more recently, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I got the invitation to come back to Portugal to join Benfica and to lead all the player development for Benfica.
قبل سنتين جت دعوة من بنفيكا، نادي بنفيكا العودة للبرتغال، ويكون مسؤول على تطوير اللاعبين في النادي.
So I wanted to start with a quick question for us to think about what makes the difference between what you do in the clubs, and I believe that all of you work in different clubs at different levels. And in terms of the analysis, what makes the difference between you and the people that does the analysis at home or on the television? If you take 30 seconds just to think about that.
والحب بس انه سؤال تفكرون فيه، انه شو الفرق بينك وبين ذول اللي يحللون بالبيت او اللي يعني بعيدين عن الملعب.
Feel free if someone wants to get a quick opinion on this.
إذا واحد عنده أي رأي سريع ممكن يقوله ونمشي، ما في مشكلة.
What's different between the analysis? Because in the end, everyone does analysis. No, everyone watches the game, everyone has their opinion, but there is a difference between you and the pundits and the TV.
كابتن.
تفضل كابتن ياسر.
يعني أنت لازم تكون بالنسبة للفرق بيناتهم، اللي جالس في بيته أو جالس في استديو بيكون أكثر راحة، 1 2 عم بيقرأ الأحداث نتيجة مشاهدته، بينما المدرب بيكون داخل الحدث، فقراره يجب أن يكون سريع ويجب أن يكون بتمتع برؤية من خلال أو تركيز عالي خلال المباراة كاملة.
We have Coach Yasser Sabai from Croatia, the club. He said that the analyst from outside he's more comfortable because he's outside the event and he can see all the things. The coach is inside the event and he need to be more faster and accurate decision.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I think that is one of the key things. We all are on the process. We know what is happening. We know what we want to happen, and we have to make those decisions. When they are at home, obviously it's more of a commentator, is a spectator point of view. A lot of times they don't know all the preparation that went through the week and everything that we are willing to do. So it goes from an external point of view to be hands-on on the decisions and inside the team performance. So that is the biggest difference. But in the end, it's important that we have the idea that everyone does their kind of analysis and they have their point of views.
طبعا يقول هذه واحده من النقاط الرئيسيه المهمه لانه اللي جالس برا والجالس في البيت ما راح يعرف التفاصيل اللي داخله. يعني ممكن انه يكون في معلقين، يكون في جمهور ياثر على رايه، لكن المدرب عنده خطه اسبوعيه، عنده عمل خلال الاسبوع هذا. الناس الباقيين ما يعرفون انه ايش المدرب عمل.
So why do we have performance analysis? Why do we need analysis on top of what the coaches already do and what the staff already prepares with the players? I'm just going to play a small video as an introduction, and then we go from there.
This is an awareness test.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
How many passes does the team in white make?
Do you want to translate with some?
طبعا هذا الفيديو انه مثل اختبار للانتباه. ده يقول لك انه كم تمريره مرر الفريق الابيض.
Did you count? Do you have a number?
Maybe 14.
13.
13?
16. 16.
Okay, we'll see.
13.
The answer is 13. But did you see the moonwalking bear?
شفتوا الدب اللي قاعد يمشي؟ يقول في شيء ثاني كان يتحرك.
Yeah, we see.
The conclusion on this is that it's easy to miss something that you are not looking for, and this is exactly what happens sometimes in the games, in the trainings when we are working with the teams, because there is so much thing going on that to capture everything at the same time is difficult for one person just to do and to remember. And the analysis, performance analysis, will support us on that.
طبعا النقطة الرئيسية هنا انه من السهل انه تفقد اشياء اذا انت ما تقدر تشوفه. بالنسبة اللي يصير في المباريات ما يقدر شخص واحد انه يتابع كل المجريات، فبالتالي المحلل الواحد ممكن يفقد كثير من المعلومات او كثير من الحالات تفوت عليه.
So if we want to summarize, there are three key functions for analysis: to inform better decisions, to help improve performance or development, and to inform the coaching process. How are we evolving?
هنا اللي يقول المحلل في عندنا ثلاث مهمات رئيسية، انه يوصل معلومات لاتخاذ قرار، انه يحسن الاداء، وايضا يوصل معلومات الخاصة بالعملية التدريبية.
And how can we do it? How do we apply that? We apply it obviously on our technical, tactical evaluation, on some physical analysis with movement and the modeling of physical profiles, and also on coaching and player education. It's a useful tool also for your own development.
هنا ايضا التطبيق او كيف نطبق كيف نستفاد من تحليل الاداء، نستفاد بالتقييم التكنيكي يعني الفني والتكتيكي بالنسبه للاعبين، من الجانب البدني والتحركات ايضا بالنسبه للاعبين، اضافه ان تطوير وتعليم اللاعبين والمدربين.
I'm sure a lot of you work in different stages. Some of you might work in the academy, others in football schools, others in the first team. And it's important that we are conscious that the focus of the analysis on these different levels is slightly different. When you play in the first team, obviously the objective is to win, and you want to do analysis to optimize your team performance. When you work in the academy, you want to develop the players individually, so your focus is to develop individual talent. And when you work in the soccer schools on more community projects, obviously you can use some level of analysis and video support to engage with the younger fans.
طبعا عمل المدربين يكون بمستويات مختلفه، اذا كان مع فريق اول او فرق اكاديميه او فرق البراعم اللي بالبدايه. فبالفريق الاول دائما يفكر بالفوز، يفكر يطور او يحسن اداء الفريق. بالنسبه للاعبين الاكاديميه او الفئات السنيه، تطوير المهاره الفرديه او القدره الفرديه للاعب الموهبه. وبالنسبه للصغار هو يعني اللي جعلهم انه يشاركون هذا النادي او بهذه البيئه.
So if we move on, let's try to look at the performance analysis fundamentals. There is a common dynamic to do analysis that is the same if you work in the first team, if you work in the academy, and that it's the main framework that you can use at whatever level you work with. And normally, to do a good analysis, to implement this kind of support, it's important that in different clubs in your club you really understand what is the mission and the vision of your club, but from a top level. But on the grass, on the day-to-day, what normally you work with is to develop your game model, your player profiles that are going to play that game, and to improve your training methods that in the end make better players and develop the game you want to play. We cannot forget, obviously, the coach profile. As Chris mentioned, different coaches work differently. So the analyst also needs to kind of adapt to it and to read the coach's profile. But the analysis model should take all of these into account.
رغم اختلاف المستويات هناك اساسيات للمحلل الفني او للتحليل. فدائما الرؤيه والمهمه بالنسبه للنادي او الفريق تكون لازم حاضره خلال على ارض الملعب. تعرفون في اسلوب لعب لازم يتطبق، في بروفايل خاص باللاعبين، قدرات اللاعبين ايضا لازم تتعامل معها بطريقه معينه للتدريب من اجل تطوير اللاعبين. وايضا بروفايل المدرب وخلفيته وفلسفته ايضا مهمه يجب ان يعرفها المحلل الفني. بالتالي اسلوب التحليل او موديل التحليل لازم يحتوي على كل هذه المعلومات.
When you think about the game and being working in different countries, the game is the same everywhere. No, they are the same rules. It's 11v11, one ball, 2 goals, score goals, not to concede. So in different parts of the world, the game is the same. But what changes from team to team is the idea, is the way to achieve the objective of the game. And there are different ways to be successful. And obviously we need to incorporate that idea in order to do a good analysis. So the first point is to have a clear reference, a clear starting point around your game model, the game that you want to play. So then you can start building your analysis model, and we'll go a bit into detail on that. Second, we need to capture information, whether it's through observation on the stadium or live, whether it's through video analysis, where we can add information. Sometimes we can use more data, some analytics on top of that, but it's the second stage of capture. And the third one, we want to produce valuable information. We want to produce insights and we do it by compiling the information, getting it together in a way that can support coaches and get down to the players. But the last point, the fourth point, it's so valuable because it has to do with the impact. All of this work needs to deliver impact on the pitch, and you need to be able to adjust that to the different learning styles of the players, of the coaches, and in order to do so, use different strategies if needed. Sometimes they like to have more of a written report, other coaches like more of a video report, others like the combination of it. Some like to get delivered on a team meeting, others more on a personal level. Because in the end, this needs to be applied on training and on the match.
كرة القدم نعرف كلنا بكل أنحاء العالم هي قانون واحد، كرة واحدة، 22 لاعب، هدفين، الهدف من المباراة أنك تسجل أكبر عدد من الأهداف، لكن الفكرة بتحقيق هاي الأهداف تكون مختلفة من مكان إلى آخر، وطرق النجاح تكون مختلفة من نادي إلى آخر. بالنسبة للتحليل الفني يجب أن يكون هناك مرجع، يعني اسلوب خاص بالتحليل لكل نادي من اجل انه يكون مرجع للمحللين الفنيين. النقطه الثانيه انه طريقه الحصول على المعلومات سواء المراقبه من خلال الوجود في الملعب او تحليل المقاطع الفيديويه الخاصه بالمباراه جدا مهمه. النقطه الثالثه انه كيف ناخذ هذه المعلومه ونوصلها الى المدربين او اللاعبين وكيف نديرها بشكل صحيح. الشيء المهم ايضا تاثير هذه المعلومه وكيف نوصلها من معلومه الى واقع او نعملها كتدريب على ارض الملعب بطرق واساليب مختلفه، لان بالتالي هذه النقاط كلها راح نحاول نطبقها بالمباريات والتدريبات.
Okay. So moving forward, and also getting back to this relationship in terms of the analysis support. It's obviously different clubs. They have different infrastructures, and I like to think on this about the hardware, the different camera systems, the different pitches, the different facilities that you have. But it's so important that we have a good software, in terms of the people, in terms of the relationships that you can forge. And we like to think that the player is at the center of our organization, and that we have the team around the player, and we have a team of departments, the team behind the team, sitting around all of this. And this is so key, the communication between all of them, being the performance analysis also part of it, and working in integration more closely with the coaches, but also supporting the other departments. We need to dedicate time, and as coaches we need to dedicate time to integrate the best as we can the analysts, but also the other staff, so we can work in a multidisciplinary team to be able to create good impact.
نعرف انه في بالنسبه للتحليل تنظيم التحليل الفني انه في شركات كثيره اللي تعمل هذه الاجهزه والادوات الخاصه بتطوير اللاعبين، لكن الشيء الاهم او المهم اللي هو التطبيقات او السوفت وير والفريق اللي يشتغل مع هذه الادوات. دائما التركيز يكون اللاعب هو وسط تركيز العمل، وبعدين يجي الفريق، وبعدين الفريق اللي هو خلف الفريق من ناحيه اداره او النفس او علماء الرياضه، بحيث ان هذا الفريق كله يعمل بشكل واحد من اجل تطوير اللاعبين.
So after these software and infrastructures, the people that we have, we need to rely on a process, on our methodology, and which is what is going to guide us in terms of the application of all of this. So jumping straight away and conscious of the time to the next chapter, we're going to give you a sneak peek of the analysis in 5 different dimensions that can help organizing the work.
أكيد نعرف هذه المعلومات راح تكون تدخل بطريقة معينة وتحللها بطريقة معينة، لكن راح نتكلم أكثر على الأبعاد الخمسة بالتحليل الأداء.
So I like to think and organize the analysis work on these 5 dimensions. The first 4 are more operational day to day, and the last one, performance tracking, is more of a long-term, medium-term kind of analysis.
نتكلم على هاي الخمسة أبعاد. هو يتكلم على الأولى يكون يعني تكون قريبة أو وقت قريب المدى، وبالنسبة للأخيرة اللي هو متابعة تحليل الأداء والتطور راح يكون على متوسط أو بعيد المدى.
So how does this work on the day-to-day in terms of the analysis and coaching on the analysis cycle? How does this work? So if we start from the match, obviously the coaches do their kind of their observation. They are on the dugout, they are on the stand, and they need to make the final decision, especially the head coach, the final decisions. And during the match, the analysts, they can capture information, they can record the video, they can provide live support.
بالنسبة للحالة الأولى اللي هي تحليل الأداء خلال المباراة، هنا راح تكون حالات كثيرة المدربين راح يتابعوها ويعملون قرارات أو يتخذون قرارات بالنسبة للي صار في المباراة. وأيضا المحلل الفني راح يعطي معلومات أو بيانات مباشرة بالنسبة للمدرب من أجل مساعدته في اتخاذ هذا القرار.
So on the post-match, normally we produce a post-match review. I think it's one of the most important because it's connected to the way we want to play, the performance of our players, and are actually the things that we can plan and design, provide feedback, and to bring them to training. This post-match analysis.
بالنسبة للتحليل اللي بعد المباراة، كيف انه يعطي معلومات او تغذية راجعة بالنسبة للاعبين، ايضا يساعد في التخطيط والتصميم الى الوحدة التدريبية القادمة وايش المعلومات المهمة اللي ممكن نعطيها في التدريب.
So this post-match analysis will help us then understanding what we need to focus during the week in terms of the training. But when we go to training, also we can do some level of analysis in terms of video, in terms of feedback, even during training, and that throughout the week will help us to prepare the strategy and the selection for the next game, which at the professional level it's linked with the pre-match analysis, which is the opposition analysis, which is the preparing the game plan, so we can close the cycle and go back to the next match.
من خلال المعلومات السابقة وصممنا الوحدة التدريبية، راح تصير عندنا معلومات جديدة من خلال نقدر ناخذها من خلال التدريب، تساعدنا باتخاذ الاستراتيجية الخاصة للمباراة القادمة، فيصير عندنا تحليل للمباراة القادمة، كيف نحلل الأداء بالنسبة لنا وبالنسبة للمنافس القادم، وكيف نضع خطة عمل أو خطة مباراة نعمل فيها في المباراة القادمة.
I'll try to go quickly and show you some examples of this, each one of these processes in a very snapshot way, starting with the pre-match, mainly the opposition analysis. Obviously, you know that you can get footage from the TV. In some leagues and some stadiums, you can get other kinds of feeds from video. Normally, we use a lot the behind the goal, but also the full panorama tactical cam, which give us better insights and more information on the game.
راح أعطي مثال على كل حالة من الحالات. الحالة الأولى اللي هي قبل المباراة وكيف تأخذ معلومات من المنافس. نعرف إن بعض المرات تكون حاضر في الملعب وتقدر حتى بمساعدة كاميرات موجودة، وممكن بالفيديو عن طريق الكاميرات اللي تكون خلف خط المرمى، أو حتى بالبانوراما اللي تبين لك الملعب كامل.
Normally you can watch 3 to 5 games, sometimes more, to add information. But then during that, what we do is to use normally in here we use sports code to organize the video, to clip the video, so we can then produce the final report, the video report.
طبعا دخل برامج يقطع الفيديوهات الخاصة بكل لاعب أو الخاصة بكل حالة، بعدين يعطينا تقرير كامل على المباراة كامل.
That report to the coaches, as we saw, it can be more video based, or it can be also written and to have some photos and links to video on it. It depends a lot. The final report depends a lot on the style of the coach and what the coach wants to receive. This is just an example.
في النهايه هذا التقرير هو اللي راح ياخذ المدرب، وبعدين يستخلص المعلومات منه، وبعدين يتخذ طريقه العمل اللي هو يقررها بالنهايه.
So you watch the games, you prepare the report with the summary information, and then we need to deliver that information to the players throughout the week. But normally there are different ways. We can use a team meeting, we can do individual sessions with the players or clips that we share to the players. We can use screens if you have on the dressing room or on your training ground. You can use that also to pass the information throughout the week and help preparing for the match ahead. But during the week, as I said, we also work a lot with training analysis, and training analysis is one of the most underrated area of the analysis. Wiz, I'm sorry, do you want to translate this part here?
Okay, no problem. لما نحصل هذه المعلومات ممكن انه توصلها بطرق مختلفة، عن طريق اجتماع خاص بالفريق او عن طريق اجتماع فردي مع اللاعبين، او تعطيهم مقاطع فيديو معينة، او عن طريق بعض الأندية عندها شاشة في غرفة تبديل الملابس، فيتم عرض بعض الحالات الفنية على هذه الشاشة. بس المهم المعلومة توصل بشكل صحيح، وبالتالي راح اروح على تحليل التدريب والمعلومات اللي ناخذها من التدريب ونوصلها للاعبين.
So on training analysis, it's fundamental that we manage to capture video. Obviously, you can do it with one camera, or you can do it with multiple cameras and more complex systems. But it's important that we can capture some information, because that information we can use it then to feedback and to make small corrections during the week, or to link what we are trying to achieve with what we are working on the pitch and the game plan for the next game.
بالنسبة لتحليل التدريب ممكن استخدام كاميرا وعدة كاميرات لمراقبة التدريب، وكيف انه نعمل اخطاء، يعني تصحيح الاخطاء البسيطة تكون موجودة من اجل الوصول للهدف اللي احنا نريده، ونقارن بين الهدف اللي احنا نريد نوصل له والواقع اللي يصير بالتدريب.
There have been coaches that have been trying to take this to closer as possible to get a quick feedback on the pitch. Maybe some of you have seen this picture from Offenheim that was with the Nagelsmann. He was trying to film training and straight away get some feedback on the pitch.
هذا يفيد المدرب من اعطاء تغذيه راجعه ومعلومات سريعه بالنسبه للاعب، وكلنا يمكن شايفين هذه الصوره اللي هي بهوفنهايم، كيف انه الشاشه موجوده على اساس انه اللاعب يشوف من خلال الشاشه ويحصل على المعلومات بشكل سريع.
This was another clever idea from Bielsa when he was at Marseille. He set a screen on a golf cart with a tactical board, so he could also quick feedback to the players on the pitch.
هذه فكرة ثانية استخدمها بيلسا مع مرسيليا، كيف إنه هاي السيارة اللي تنقل الأدوات أو مثل مال جولف، حط فيها شاشة وحط فيها لوح على أساس إنه يعمل حالات تكتيكية ويقارنها بالشاشة.
So you can use more complex setups, you can use simpler things, but it's important that you can capture some information during the training, then also to connect with what you're trying to achieve. This is a representation of using some positional data from GPSs on training, also to identify some things that are connected with our game model. For example, here, the opening the space between the fullback and the center back, a bigger space that can be detected and clipped automatically to your analysis. But again, it's a more complex system. You can do the basis of training analysis with a camera and a laptop.
طبعا تقدر تستخدم هذه الاشياء كثيره، يعني ادوات تكنولوجيا متقدمه او لا، لكن اهم شيء انه المعلومات تحصلها بشكل صحيح وتستفاد منها. ايضا هذا يعني عمليه في استخدام الجي بي اس لقياس او دراسه تمركز اللاعبين، كيف يعطيك معلومات مثال هذا انه في مسافه كبيره بين الظهير والقلب على اساس تعطي بعض نقاط الضعف اللي ممكن المدرب يصححها.
Yes. Yes, the connection of this with the GPS, there are different systems today, but also help us to connect the technical part with the physical part of the sessions and to understand in terms of our methodology, if we are achieving the right level to prepare for the game.
وايضا هذه معلومات باساليب يعني باتجاهات مختلفه ممكن تكون فرديه او جماعيه تساعد المدرب انه كيف يحضر للمباراه.
So we did the pre-match on the opposition analysis, we did the training analysis, and now we are going to the match and to the live analysis.
ايضا انتقال من تحليل التدريب الان نجي على التحليل بشكل مباشر من ارض الملعب.
So in here, and just to give you an example on a Premier League stadium, normally you have some capture points, which is these ones, the different camera system around the pitch, which in PSL you also have with Prozone, as I understand. Then you have maybe a position where a coach or an analyst sits on the stand. You have an analysis suite with the other analysts that can code the game. You have and need to have connection to the bench, and ultimately this information needs to get filtered to the coach who will make the decisions. So in terms of the setup on the analysis suite here, you can see we have a computer capturing the team clips, other coding the player clips, individual clips, so we have it ready straight after the game or during the game. And then you have a machine where you can code clips to use at the halftime on the dressing room, on a screen on the dressing room. And on top of that, you can also have live feed in terms of data analysis to support your decisions. And again, this is a complex setup with a lot of equipment, but you can do it in a simpler way. For example, in Benfica, in the youth, you have number one where you have the camera systems, you have a coach and the analysts on the stand, and then you have the connection with the bench and with the head coach in a simpler way.
مثل ما شفتوا بالملعب في وحتى احنا عندنا هنا بدوري نجوم قطر في الملاعب المزوده بكاميرات من اجل المعلومات الخاصه باللاعبين، توصل هذه المعلومات للمحللين الموجودين في المنصه، وهذه المعلومات توصل الى الجهاز من المحللين الى الجهاز الفني ومنه الى المدرب من اجل ان يستفاد منها ويتخذ قرارات. اذا شفنا هنا انه كل بالمنصه في جهاز كمبيوتر من اجل المعلومات العامه للفريق، من اجل المعلومات الخاصه باللاعبين، من اجل جهاز يعرض فيه معلومات بين الشوطين وايضا بعض الاحصائيات، وممكن استخدامها بطريقه ابسط اللي ممكن مثلا مع فرق الشباب يكون في كاميرا ومحلل، هذه المعلومات توصل من المحلل الى الجهاز الفني بشكل مباشر.
Yes, again with sports codes, we have a matrix here where we have different buttons and where we can assign to each button a moment of the game or a principle of the game or things that we want to code. And as the game goes, we can tick and get the game cut straight away.
نعم، سبورت كود هذا احد البرامج اللي هو بالنسبه لهم يستخدموه، وفي مثل مصفوفه او برنامج معين لما تضغط على وحده من هذه الايقونات راح يطلع لك فتح حاله لعب معينه او لحظه من المباراه هم يحتاجوها.
In terms of data analysis, there are some services that provide you a live data. This is an example from Opta, but you might have also Y-Scout or other companies that can provide that.
ايضا بعض البرامج اللي تعطيك احصائيات مباشره او بيانات مباشره مثل اوبتا، احنا بعض ايضا القسم يستخدمونه واي سكاوت.
Yeah, I think the most important thing when you work in analysis during the game, the live analysis, and when you prepare the information for the halftime and especially clips to see at the halftime, it's very important that you have a capacity to select the right information. And to do that, again, the analyst needs to be very well connected with your ideas and how you want to see the game and what is important for you on that game plan.
واحدة من النقاط المهمة كيف إن توصل المعلومات للاعبين في فترة ما بين الشوطين، وكيف يساعدك المحلل الفني بهذا الشيء. فعلى هذا الأساس لازم يكون المحلل الفني فاهم فلسفة المدرب، والاثنين يفكرون بنفس الطريقة من أجل إيصال المعلومة بشكل صحيح.
Because as we know, there's not a lot of time, no? The time that we go back to the dressing room, the time that we can talk with the coaches and the players refresh, and we can do a quick analysis there before speaking to the players. Then the manager in the end has 5-6 minutes to speak to the players properly and to provide individual feedback, because after we need to go back to the pitch. So we only have 5 minutes discussion quickly, and then the intervention of the coach. So the clips needs to be really well selected if we want to show something.
يعني هاي مقاطع الفيديو اللي تنعرض بين الشوطين لازم تكون دقيقة جدا ومناسبة للوضع اللي فيه الفريق، لأنه الوقت قليل، لأنه بنحتاج من دقيقة ونص إلى دقيقتين عودة اللاعبين إلى غرفة تبديل الملابس. عندك 5 دقائق تقريبا هي مناقشة بين المدربين أنفسهم، بعدين عندك 5 دقائق إيصال المعلومة للاعبين، إن المدرب يتكلم مع اللاعبين ويعطيهم المعلومات أو التغذية الراجعة، وبعدين عندك دقيقتين حتى ترجع فيها لأرض الملعب. بالتالي الوقت قصير جدا، يجب أن نختار مقاطع الفيديو أو المعلومات المناسبة.
Okay, so finish the game, get everything ready to do the review of the game. Right after the game, normally if you film the game, if you coded the game, you have the game ready for analysis, and you can have it to analyze. And normally you will produce some team report to the coaches or to the players, and sometimes you can use some information to support other departments. For example, if there is an injury, if you can provide the video from that injury, or if you have information from physical data that you can provide as well.
هناك بعض التحليل بعد المباراة، ممكن هذا التحليل يفيدنا بإعطاء تقرير للجهاز الفني أو المدربين، وأيضا إيصال المعلومة للاعبين وبعض الحالات الخاصة فيهم، إضافة إلى أن تعطي بعض الحالات اللي يستفاد منها الأقسام الأخرى مثل القسم الطبي، القسم البدني وعلوم الرياضة.
Again, there are different ways to pass that information. Here, 2 examples of a more team report, a summary page from a team report where you have the links to the video up there, to the highlights or to more specific information that you can put on that report. And on the right, some individual examples of player reports where they can also have a link to their clips.
مثل ما شفتوا مثال على انه ملخص على فريق، على تقرير للفريق بالمباراة، وعلى اليمين ماخذ الشكل فردي لكل لاعب.
This is another example, more visual with more photos and more key things from the game. But again, just to give you different perspectives, that the report doesn't need to be something only with text, can be something more graphical, can be something done more with video basis. It's up to what you prefer. It's important that you pass that information to the analysts how you would like to receive the information.
هذا مثال آخر ممكن التقرير اللي قدمه المحلل الفني، نشوف طريقة ثانية، صور أكثر، مقاطع فيديو أكثر، إضافة إلى بعض النقاط. يعني التقرير مو شرط إنه يكون نصي، بعض المرات يكون عن طريق الصور وذكر بعض النقاط الرئيسية.
So if we pick on this example, for example, that we are analyzing our defending process, we have divided into organization and transition. We have different key aspects of things that we wanted to do. So for example, at the top, we have the high pressing and how we are opening space between lines. So we need our back four to push more. So that is something that here at the bottom, we put on the key teams for improvement. So then we can work with them during the week.
مثال على حالة الدفاع أو التقرير الدفاع بالنسبة لهذا الفريق، يقول نتكلم احنا على شيئين رئيسيين: التنظيم الدفاعي والتحول للدفاع. من خلال هذه الحالات نكتب بعض المفاتيح الرئيسية والنقاط الرئيسية اللي نحتاج نطورها، مثل ما تشوفون اللي موجودة باللون الأزرق. مثلا المسافات بين الخطوط تكون كبيرة، فيحتاج إنه ال4 مدافعين يدفعون او يضغطون الى الاعلى من اجل تقليل هذه المساحات، وبالتالي هذه المعلومات راح تساعدك انه كيف تعمل تدريب تطور فيه اللاعبين من هذه الناحيه.
So one of the key themes for the week will be the beginning of pressing. So our coordination, our strategy to press and defending as a team in terms of intensity and reduce space between lines, for example. So then we can prepare, or with the coaches, some exercises and some feedback information to deliver during the week.
ايضا من النقاط المهمه يركزون عليها انه توقيت الضغط ومتى يبدون الضغط وكيف التفاهم والتناغم حركه الضغط تكون موجوده وتقليل المساحه. هذه واحده من النقاط اللي ممكن التركيز عليها على اساس انه بالتدريب نطورها بشكل اكبر.
So those were the 4 more operational moments: the pre-match / opposition analysis, the training analysis, the live analysis, and the post-match analysis. And now we go to see the 5th, which is the performance tracking, which, as I said, is a bit more medium-term, long-term kind of analysis.
مثل ما شفنا مع التحليل اللي قبل المباراة، خلال المباراة، بعد المباراة اللي قلنا عليها ممكن يكون توقيتها قصير المدى. هنا نتكلم على متابعة أو مراقبة الأداء يعني لخطة طويلة المدى.
So on this performance tracking and development, there are different things. One of the things that we consider a lot is the benchmark, to understand where our team is compared with the others in the league.
هنا نشوف خلال هذا النوع من المتابعة ومن تحليل الأداء لازم يكون عندنا مثل السقف نتعامل معه على أساس نعرف إحنا وين واصلين.
I'm sure you've seen a lot of different analyses, and this is just a couple of examples of information that you can have to benchmark a full league in terms of goals scored and conceded. So we understand if we are scoring a lot of goals and not conceding a lot in comparison with the average of the leagues. You can use more extensive kind of data to do quick comparisons with the elite teams or with the level of the league, to compare with your league. And today there is a big array of reports and ways to do this, which also show a little bit more in the presentation.
مثل ما شفت تقدر انه خلال معلومات تقارن بين باستخدام هاي البرامج، تقارن بين القدرات او البيانات اللي عندك مقارنه مع فرق النخبه. وممكن ايضا في بعض البرامج تكون الاكثر كلفه انه تعطيك تفاصيل اكثر واكثر بالنسبه للفرق العالميه وفرق النخبه.
On this section of performance tracking, we also use a lot of clips from our own game model, from the way we play, to educate our coaches and to review our work. But also we do this looking at other teams and examples from other teams to inspire us in different ways to solve problems of the game. This is just a compilation. This is a quick example of playing against a low block, what different things that we should do, and we can pick up image from other clubs as well to inspire us with that.
احنا شفنا بالانواع التحليل استخدمنا دائما نركز على فريقنا، كيف انه نحلل الفريق، كيف نحلل الفريق المنافس. لكن بعض المرات يحتاج انه تروح على حاله تكتيكيه معينه وتعرض فيديوهات مال فرق مختلفه، ممكن تكون فرق على مستوى عالي، مثل يكون نوع من الالهام للاعبين ويتعلمون منهم اشياء كثيره. خلال هذه المقاطع الفيديو راح تفيد اللاعبين جدا. مثلا هذا مثال على انه كيف تلعب ضد تكتل او دفاع منخفض جدا، وكيف عندك لازم يكون عندك صبر من اجل انه تخترق هذا الدفاع.
Okay, just of the time, and just to finish, I just wanted to wrap up with a quick look at the past, present, and future of coaching and analysis. Obviously, the analysis and the game at this stage when Eusebio used to play is different from the game that we are playing today.
طبعا اكيد لما نقارن بين التحليل اللي كان في الماضي والان تختلف من جميع النواحي.
And so analysis has also evolved over the time. No, the basic level of the analysis obviously is your eyes, your pen and paper to take some notes. but things have evolved with more data, with more video support, with tracking systems, now with a lot of visualizations on top of the video, and even with artificial intelligence coming into the game.
مثل ما تطورت كرة القدم مرور الزمن أيضا التحليل الفني تطور، بداية من القلم، من استخدام العين والتسجيل بالورقة والقلم، إلى بعض البرامج الكمبيوتر، إلى البرامج اللي تستخدم الصور الفيديوية، والآن مع الذكاء الصناعي أيضا.
So connected with that evolution, also there are a lot of different softwares and tools that are available today. For sure, you know some of these.
نماذج تعرفون اغلبها تعرفوها، اللي هو سكاوت، اوبتا، بروزون اللي صارت ستاتس، فهاي البرامج المختلفه والتطبيقات المختلفه اللي تعمل في تحليل الاداء.
I know that the Qatar FA and the KSL have been making a lot of investment to provide some of these tools to the clubs and to the coaches, and that it's interesting to see that you have access in general terms to some of these. So a lot of the things that we spoke, you can already do some good work on that on this kind of analysis. But I wanted to pass this idea that the analyst today is evolving from being in the past a video analyst to being more a football analyst, or I would say a coach analyst. And this coach analyst has to have all these kind of skill sets to the match analysis and video analysis, to be able to produce good information and insights, but also to deliver that to coaches, sometimes to players, and even to apply it and to help with the coaching and with the exercises. So it's a bit, it's how the role of the analyst is evolving to be more and more integrated with the coaching staffs, and it's the only way that it can get more and more impact on your day-to-day coaching.
طبعا كلنا نعرف انه هنا الاتحاد القطري لكرة القدم وايضا مؤسسة دوري النجوم قطر مهتمة جدا بهذا الجانب اللي هو جانب تحليل الاداء، واستخدمت ادوات تكنولوجيه كثيره من اجل يعني مساعده المدربين، وهذا شيء مهم بالنسبه لكره القدم الحديثه. هو بالنسبه له المحلل الفيديو اللي كان سابقا يسمى محلل فيديو، الان صار محلل كره قدم او مدرب محلل، بحيث انه يتكلم على تحليل مباريات وتحليل فيديو ويعطي معلومات، اضافه الى توقعات ممكن للفريق المنافس، وكيف يوصل المعلومه وكيف يطبق هذه المعلومه على ارض الملعب.
Yeah, so analysis is evolving, but coaching is evolving as well. And you know that today there are more games, there is less training time. You can see on the big leagues how it's to play, recover, especially if you play if you work in a big team. That is more, the game is more tactical, is more balanced. The development of sport science has made it for the game to be quicker, to be less time and space, which requires players and our coaching to be more adaptable and flexible to within the game. So getting both things together, not only how the game is evolving, how coaching needs to evolve, and how the analysis also is allow us to evolve. The challenge, I would say, on a daily basis is for us, for you guys, to keep focused and efficient on developing or winning. I think that is always what we want to achieve, to win games, to develop players, but at the same time to keep this startup spirit, to be dynamic, to be innovative, and to try to use the tools that are our disposal to improve our work, to make better coaches, to make better players, and to improve the game.
مثل ما تطورت كرة القدم، مثل ما تطوروا المحللين أيضا المدرب يعني تغير وتطور مرور الزمن، لأنه الآن صارت مباريات كثيرة، صار وحدات تدريبية أقل، المباريات صارت أكثر تكتيكيا، مساحة وقت قليلة يعني موجودة بكرة القدم الحديثة. لهذا المدرب يجب أن يكون يعني قابل، يعني يكون يتكيف بسرعه، يكون مرن للتغيير. فبالتالي احنا كمدربين عندنا تحديات يوميه انه دائما نكون مركزين على الكفاءه، مركزين على نكون الفوز او التطوير اللاعبين حسب هدف كل فئه عمريه، اضافه الى انه يكون عندنا الروح والشغف اللي يساعدنا بهذا الشيء، انه يكون عندنا الابتكار والابداع من اجل تطوير اللاعبين.
So, take home message and summarizing, I would say that it's easy to miss something that you are not looking for. Therefore, the importance of using the analysis to support your work on a daily basis. Build an integrated approach, a clear reference point, understand the game that you want to play, use the analysis on training, to the feedback, to do analysis from that work during the week to prepare the next game, and work on this kind of cycle. And then try to explore the 5 dimensions of analysis that we've seen. 4 more operational, 1 more long term, and final message to keep open-minded for improvement, to work with your staff, to work with your coaches, so you can make the better of the resources and the support that the club puts at your disposal.
كخلاصه للمحاضره، انه احنا قلنا انه من السهل انك تفقد اشياء اذا انت ما تابعتها او ما راقبتها. بالتالي على المدرب انه يبني مثل المزيج من المحاور من اجل الوصول الى هدفه مع نقطه مرجعيه واضحه. لما يكون عندنا مباراه وتحليل وبعدين تدريب وتغذيه راجعه او معلومات توصل للاعبين، وبعدين نحللها مره ثانيه نرجع نستخدمها في المباراه القادمه. خمس ابعاد للتحليل، اللي هي الاربع منها احنا قلنا على القصير المدى، على الوقت القصير المدى، والاخيره اللي هي متابعه الاداء، الخطه طويله المدى. اهم شيء انه واحد لازم يكون عنده عقليه منفتحه للتطور المستمر.
And that's it. So hopefully it brought some insight into this analysis world, and some new questions for you to reflect on, and we'll be open for some questions if you have any.